Hi, we're going to talk a little bit more about direct variation. I know we touched base on it a couple notes ago, and basically direct variation is where the graph starts at zero. It goes through the origin. So that means you might have an equation that basically just looks like y equals mx, like y equals 2x. The y-intercept is understood to be zero. Now, another fancy way that you might see it is instead of at y equal mx, and you know m is the slope, it may say kx. And every so often you might see it look like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 1. You have the linear function f of x is equal to 20x. That just means that your slope is 20. It goes through the origin. So you start here and you go up to 20 and over 1. All right, so it goes through the origin. B is 0. It says it right here. The K is your constant of variation, which is also the constant of proportionality, which basically is just the slope. So those are just some fancy words and just identifying the slope. Remember that the slope means the change of y over the change of x. That's your rise over your run. That's all that means. So the cost is a function of the number of cookies. The cost varies directly with the number of cookies. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second one. We have the weight in grams over here on your x-axis, and then we have the energy. So the linear function would be y is equal to 5x because your rise, again, we're starting at 0. Your rise is 500. So that's 500. And your run is 100. So 500 divided by 100, 5 divided by 1 gives us 5. So the K, your constant variation is 5. The constant proportionality is 5. Or the slope is 5. Again, it all just means the same thing. All right, let's take a look at example 3. You have a linear function of y is equal to 75x plus 50. This is not a direct variation. It does not go through the origin. It goes through the y-axis up here at 50. Now, the slope is 75, true, but again, this is not a direct variation. All right, let's flip on over to the second page. Here now, what we're going to do is write the equation for the given information. So step 1, we're going to find the constant, or basically just the slope right here. And then step 2, what we're going to do is we're going to put that number that we get into our equation. So example, write the equation when y varies directly as x. So when y is 20, so that's 20, because remember it's y over x, and when x is 5. So 20 divided by 5 gives us 4. So y equals 4x, and that's it. That's all you're finding right there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at problem number 1. It says y is directly proportional to x. We know that, y over x. So when y is 300 and x is 60, so the zeros cancel out, and 30 divided by 6 is 5. So y equals 5x, because remember, that's the slope. Number 2, y varies directly as x, so this would be 50 divided by 5/9. So if we look at it this way, 50 divided by 5/9. Now you could always put that in your calculator, of course, but if we're doing this by hand, this is also keep, change, flip. Another way you can write this is 50 times. So we're going to keep that, change division to multiplication, and then we flip the numerator and denominator. We flip that fraction. So it'll be 9 over 5. Now this 50, we could go ahead and put a 1, and so it would, you have two fractions multiplied together. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 50 divided by 5 is 10, and 10 times 9 is 90. So y is equal to 90x as your equation. All right, let's take a look at problem 3. If y varies directly as x and x is 14, now remember, we still want y over x. So now they changed it up just a little bit. So we're going to put our 14 in the bottom where our x is supposed to be, and y is 44. So 44 divided by 14, we can reduce this by 2. So this would be 22 over 7. So we can just keep it as a fraction. So this would be y is equal to 22 over 7x. All right, number 4. The distance traveled varies directly with time passed. Write an equation if the distance is 250 meters when the time passed is 40 minutes. So you have to think, what does each one stand for in this problem? So the distance traveled. So the distance traveled is 250. That's your y. And the time passed is your x. So we've got 250 divided by 40. Those cancel out. 25 divided by 4 gives us the decimal of 6.25. So the equation is y equals 6.25x. All right, let's take a look at number 5. The amount of money earned on a job is directly proportional to the number of hours worked. For 5 hours, okay, so that's x. Because remember, it's the money earned is your y, and $45 earned. So 45 divided by 5, the equation is y equals 9x. All right, the last one we have here, number 6. The height that a ball bounces varies directly with the height from which it is dropped. So a certain ball bounces 50 centimeters. So you're going to put your 50 right here where the y is. And it's a height of 80. So again, it's still y over x. So 50 divided by 80, that'll be 5/8. And you can use it as a fraction or decimal. So we can write it as y is equal to, as a decimal, it'd be 0.625x, or y is equal to 5/8 x. Alrighty, that is it.